Good morning for a second time.
We're still making breakfast.
Yes, we are still making
breakfast. And hopefully you can hear us this time.
Yes.
I forgot with my computer that if I unplug my headset when it's shut down, that it doesn't reset it, that it thinks it's still got the headset plugged in, which obviously then you can't hear us. So hopefully this is better. So Carla, if you can hear me, let me know. Type me a message, let me know you can hear me, because it wasn't working a minute ago.
Right.
So tell them again what you're having for breakfast.
Okay, so what I'm having for breakfast is oatmeal with my chai seed, with my hemp hearts, the amla, the spirulina. Yes, they can hear us.
Thank you.
The Vega protein powder, a banana, and blueberries.
Awesome. And I today am having a tortilla. I'm going to have a wrap. I'm going to have a hummus wrap. I would put avocado on it, but due to lack of planning on my part, we are out of avocado. So I'm going to have to pick up some more of that today. So I'm putting hummus, tomato, onion, and broccoli sprouts, and I'll probably put some chai seeds or some hemp seeds or something on it. And the reason that I'm having this for breakfast is that I have a lunch meeting today. I'm going to the Women in Business Luncheon. So if anybody's going to be at the Women in Business Luncheon today at the Chase Center, please let me know. Come by, say hi. I would love to see you. So yeah, that's cool. I do want to say it is very cold.
Yes, and windy.
Wind chill factors in the single digits. Unacceptable.
Unacceptable.
Not pleased with that at all.
No doubt.
How was your workout?
My workout was good. So yes, I forgot we're backtracking now.
We are. I'm sorry.
Okay. No problem. All right. So for my workout today, I did shoulders. I did triceps. I did calves, and I did my cardio blitz, my 10-minute cardio blitz.
And you got it all done.
I got it all done.
And he was done by 8:30. When I walked up at 8:30 and said, "Are you finished?" He said, "Almost." So I washed my hands, and he was done.
Right.
So that was good. I did chest today.
Right.
And I did a little bit of shoulders.
Right.
And I did core.
Right. And then you were telling us about what you did for core.
Right. So for core, I used the Bosu ball, which is the half ball with the flat top on it, or flat bottom, depending on which way you set it. I set it with the round part down, and I hold on to it because I can't put my hands flat on the floor because I have a little cyst on my wrist right here, and it inflames if I put my hands flat on the floor. So I use the Bosu ball. I did mountain climbers, which are you do the plank position and then run your feet. And then I did, I don't know what they're called, but where you, rather than doing your feet back and forth, you bounce your feet in and out.
Right.
I did those. And then I did kind of something that resembles a burpee, which is jump out to the plank position, jump back up, stand, like that. So I did some of those.
I just read yesterday that the burpee was a #4 most looked up new workout activity that people look for on Google.
New?
The article said new, the most recent trend is what it said.
Okay, because I'm going to say the burpee is not new. I've been doing the burpee
But they've called
forever.
it different. They've called it many different things. Now they're called burpees. So, but I thought that was interesting because I know you do those. So.
I do them.
Right.
And sometimes I even go so far as to like pick up the Bosu and put it over my head and do them that way. I didn't do that today. I just stood up. But sometimes I do pick it up. And
you play Charlotte Atlas. Instead of Charles Atlas, Charlotte Atlas holding up the world?
Half the world?
Yes, half the world.
You're such a...
No?
So let's talk about high fructose corn syrup and sugar. Tell about that.
So, interesting enough, I'm doing my cardio blitz today, and I hear this commercial, and I wish I could remember what company or what product it was for, but I didn't really pick it up until I heard them mention 3 things. It said, and it has... natural blueberries, great. Yes, real blueberries, real strawberries, another great item, and real high fructose corn syrup. So I'm thinking to myself, okay, so now we are promoting the fact that we are putting sugar, and in this case, a chemically
processed sugar,
right, into a product, and we're promoting it as a good thing. So on the way home from the gym, I said, we got to look up exactly why high fructose corn syrup is a no-no. Corn syrup.
And so I looked, while we were driving home, I put it into my phone and I looked it up, and I found several articles from Huffington Post, but I don't consider Huffington Post
It's more of an opinion site.
Right, I don't consider that a valid site. So I went and I found, and I'll post the article in the comments when we get done. I found an article by Dr. Hyman, and it's called 5 Reasons Why High Fructose Corn Syrup Will Kill You.
And it's a long article, so we're gonna highlight a little bit.
I'm just gonna highlight it for you. Yeah. But it starts out with the quote from Harry Truman that says, "If you can't convince them, confuse them."
Right.
And I think that's what Big Food is trying to do. They're trying to confuse us. So the first thing that Big Food tells us is that cane sugar and high fructose corn syrup are the same, that your body can't tell the difference.
Right.
And the argument that Dr. Hyman makes in this article is that they're not the same because the process of creating them is different. High fructose corn syrup is created through a chemical process.
Right.
There's chemicals involved in
Right.
it. My understanding of cane sugar is just pressed.
Right. And keep in mind, folks, so the documentary in the defense of food, that's not what they're talking about here, but the same person, I can't think of his name right now, that did that, wanted to interview the companies that produce
Michael Pollan.
Michael Pollan.
Did you see me think about that?
That was good. Wanted to interview these companies to find out about the process, and they will not let anyone, doesn't matter who you are, know how they actually produce high fructose corn syrup.
That's a problem.
And that's a scary thought.
Yeah, exactly. So anyway, am I on
go ahead,
again?
you're on
Okay,
again.
hold on, sorry. Now I have onions on my hands. So they try to convince you it's the same. It's not the same.
Right.
And the other thing is, this article points out that our ancestors used to get about 20 teaspoons of sugar a year. A year. And most Americans get almost that in a day.
In a day.
So even if it was the same, we're still eating way too much of it. The volume is just crazy.
And here's the thing about it that it mentions in that article about the high fructose corn syrup.
Nothing. Go ahead.
Is that it is a lot less expensive to produce than cane sugar is.
Mm-hmm.
So therefore, every product just about that's processed or sweetened they're using high fructose corn syrup. And he points out the fact that the reason why you used to be able to get, well, you used to pay for 16-ounce soda, you can now get the big gulp or the super big gulp, and they don't charge you anymore is because it's so much cheaper for them to make it. So it doesn't cost them any more money.
Right, so they can use high fructose corn syrup to sugar stuff or sweeten stuff, and it doesn't cost them anything. It's super cheap.
And they say it was more sweet than
right, and it's because of there's two chemical types of sweetness in both of cane sugar and corn sugar.
Right.
And they're calling it corn sugar now, so they're acting like it's the same thing. It's not the same thing.
Right.
But there's two types of chemicals.
Sucrose and
glucose.
And glucose.
And in cane sugar, they're a 50-50 balance, but in corn sugar, it's 55-45. So corn sugar tastes sweeter to you, so they can use less of it.
Right.
So not only is it cheaper to produce, but they can use less of it, which is just crazy.
Yeah.
So I want to read you the 5 things that he says, and I'll just read you the highlights. They're bolded, and you can go back and read the whole article because, like Russ said, it's really long. It says sugar in any form causes obesity and disease when consumed in pharmacological doses, and that's where he talks about the amount of sugar that we're consuming, the volume of sweet, and pretty much every single processed food has high fructose corn syrup.
Yeah, I mean,
like all of them. So
go in your pantry if you have boxed products and read the ingredients. You're going to find it on there. You're going to be shocked.
Yep. And then he says, which we said before, high fructose corn sugar and cane sugar are not biochemically identical, nor are they processed in the same way. So don't let big food tell you they're the same. They are not the same thing.
Right.
I'm scrolling. This is a very long article.
There you go.
High fructose corn syrup contains contaminants including mercury that are not regulated or measured by the FDA.
So they tell you to be wary about eating too much fish, but not too much corn sugar.
Corn syrup stuff. Yeah, so that's it. That's shocking to me. Makes me very glad that we have very little processed food in our diet.
Right.
Number 4, independent medical and nutrition experts do not support the use of high fructose corn syrup in our diet, despite assertions by the corn industry. Right. And he has a bunch of long stuff about how he backs that up with facts. I'm not going to read all of that to you right now.
Right.
But
well, he talks about how he was inundated with all this propaganda sent to him. He assumes that 700,000 other doctors in this country about how it's good for you.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Or not dangerous.
Not dangerous.
Maybe it's not good for you, but it's not dangerous.
Yeah.
See me roll my eyes so hard I almost fall over?
I have to catch you.
High fructose corn syrup is almost always a marker of poor quality, nutrition poor, disease-creating industrial food products or food-like substances.
Right. So not real food.
Not real food.
And what do we say? Eat food.
Right.
When we say eat food, we mean real food, not processed foods.
Yep. So we're eating more, and then he comments that we're eating more sugar sweetener, so combining everything, sugar and high fructose corn syrup, in quantities that have never been experienced in history. 140 pounds per year versus 20 teaspoons a year for about 10,000 years ago. So obviously, we've increased our sugar intake dramatically, or we haven't. Big Food has increased it. Yeah. And then it's found, and he says again, it's found in poor quality food, so don't eat it. So I will post this article, the link to this article, in the comments.
It's very interesting.
When we get done,
it's very long.
It's very long. Yeah. I did read it, and I will definitely. It'll be one of the things we put on our website in the resources thing. So if you have questions or comments about high fructose corn syrup versus sugar, I can speak today. Let us know. The best thing I can say to you is don't eat it, and don't eat stuff that has it in it. It's just not good for you.
And the more research we do, the more documentaries we watch, the more books we read, it's like a slam dunk that obesity, diabetes, all cancers, cancer. They're saying even Alzheimer's. They're linking to it now. The biggest culprit out there is sugar. It's not fats. Yeah. It's not cholesterol. It's sugar, and sugar is in every processed food that we are consuming.
Yep. So we have to start really trying to figure that out, eating more whole foods. And so, I mean, even if you're not ready to give up meat, and I know we talked about it yesterday about the addiction to meat and, all of that. We talked about that. But if you're not ready to give up meat, at least give up processed food. It'll be so much healthier for you if you can do that. So, and I'm eating my broccoli sprouts that I showed you guys yesterday.
Yes, and as we always say, if you're going to go to the supermarket to go shopping, stay on the fringes.
And don't eat.
And don't buy cold cuts.
Yeah.
I know for a lot of people that's sacrilege.
I know somebody told me, she's like, I'm Italian. I'm like, so is my husband.
Right. But that's where all the bad stuff is.
Sausages, all those nitrates. Don't eat that stuff. And they have sugar in them too. Usually.
So I guess we did get on a little bit by our high horse.
We got on a tangent.
Yeah. So
about sugar and high fructose corn syrup.
I mean, if we can convince folks to at least decrease one thing, I would say sugar over anything else is what we would have to.
Yep, absolutely. Yeah. And increase your exercise.
And increase your exercise.
So we are working on our website. We were super excited. We spent 2 nights ago working on kind of outlining what it looks like, and Russ started
I started designing.
He started designing
it.
So we're really, really hoping that maybe we'll be able to launch it by the beginning of the year.
We're hopeful. We'll see.
And it's going to be really awesome.
Because Russ is also developing several other.
Russ has work that actually pays us.
Yes.
And, helps pay the mortgage. So we're trying to balance our excitement about this and helping you guys with your journey to health by sharing ours, and actually being able to pay the bills.
Yes, both are very important.
Yeah, and I'm working on, I'm doing a half-day event on January 6th with a colleague of mine. We're going to be doing an event about jumpstart your business into 2018. So I'm excited about that. I've posted all that on my personal page. It's public. You can see it if you're interested.
You're already getting great responses.
We are getting good responses, and we have vendor tables available, so that's fun too.
Yeah.
So my breakfast is done. I just have to add the garlic powder. It looks pretty good. See, look how yummy it looks. So I think that's it. We will not see you tomorrow morning, because we have an
event after event after event.
We have events all day tomorrow. We will be home probably around 4 or 5 to eat our fasting day meal, and then we have another event in the evening. So we will come out. We'll pop on for our fasting day meal,
which will be about
4-ish. I'm not sure exactly, but we will do that tomorrow, and then we'll be back on Friday. And I think on Friday, I've got Russ convinced that we're going to tell you guys the story of how we met and how I had to ask him out 4 times.
And I still don't know what that has to do with our dieting.
Because people want to know, and it's Friday, and so we can share that.
We'll share that for the weekend.
That'll be on Friday. We'll tell our story about how we met and how I finally got him to go out with me.
Correct.
Sounds fair?
Sounds fair.
All right. Tell them goodbye.
And with that, we will say eat food, real food, not too much. Mostly plants. Have a great day,
We'll
folks.
see you guys tomorrow afternoon.